Hey peeps, Wade here from Tutoring, and as always, it's such a pleasure to join you. Today I'm going to be taking you through a question on trigonometry and specifically general solutions, and this question was sent in by Sajida. With that in mind, let's jump in. So it says solve for x, and we have 2 cos x minus 30 equals sine x plus 45. So when we have a situation like this, we can see that the angles are split, and that means we're dealing with compound angles. So to start off, we're going to have 2 open brackets. Now when it's cos x minus another angle, that will change to cos, so cos x times cos 30. When it's a negative, it's going to become positive now. Then it will be sine x times sine 30. And that's equal to, when it's sine x plus 45, it becomes sine cos, cos sine. And then the sign will stay the same, the positive sign. So that'll become sine x times cos 45 plus cos x times sine 45. Right. Next thing you should notice is that these angles are special angles, which leads me to this diagram, but before that I'm going to talk you through this little note. So a good way to remember your trig ratios is your rear x-rays, your exterior. So when we're dealing with sine, it's y over r, cos x over r, and tan y over x. So going to this diagram over here, where it's our special angles, we have 30 degrees, 45, 60, and 90. Remember that these are a set of coordinates as x and y, and then of course our r, which equals 2. Now, a good way to remember this is it starts 2, root 3, root 2, 1, 0. Then it's the exact same numbers, but in reverse. 2, root 3, root 2, 1, 0. And as I said, it's a set of coordinates, so it's x, y, x, y, x, y, and so on. And then, of course, r equals 2. So let's fill that in. So when we have 2, open brackets, cos x times cos 30 degrees, so cos we know is x over r. At 30 degrees, it's root 3 over 2. 3 over 2 plus sine x times sine 30 degrees, so that's 1 over 2. Y over r, so 1 over 2, and that is equal to sine x times cos 45, so at cos 45, cos x over r is root 2 over 2, 2 over 2, and that is plus cos x times sine 45, y over r this time, which is also root 2 over 2. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 2 into both of these using the distributive law. And when I do that, I'm going to write the answer in front of the trig function. And the reason for that is just it looks a little neater. So 2 times cos x times root 3 over 2. So the 2's will cancel, leaving me with root 3 cos x plus, and then 2 times a half sine x times a half. So that'll just leave us with 1 sine x, or just sine x, and that is equal to our root 2 over 2 sine x plus root 2 over 2 cos x. Okay, next we have a fraction. We don't like dealing with fractions, so let's try and get rid of it. And to do that, we'll get an LCD, and in this case the LCD will be 2 because this is over 1 and that's over 1, so we'll times that by 2 and times that by 2. Remember, it's timesing the bottom and the top by 2, because what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Now that the denominators will be the same, I'm not going to rewrite them when I write the answer out, because they are all the same, so they can be dropped. So that'll leave us with 2 root 3 cos x plus 2 sine x is equal to root 2 sine x plus root 2 cos x. Okay, next we need to get the like terms together. So I'm going to put the sines on the one side and the coses on the other side. So that'll leave me with 2 sine x minus root 2 sine x and that's equal to root 2 cos x minus 2 root 3 cos x. And yeah, okay, so now on the left hand side I'm going to take out a common sign, leaving me with sine x times my 2 minus root 2, and that's equal to, on the right hand side I'm going to take out a common cos x, so it'll be cos x open brackets root 2 minus 2 root 3. Okay, so next what I need to do is I'm going to try and get this so that we can have a single trig function. But before I do that, we want to divide by one of these numbers. So because I want to get the sine x by itself on this side, so I'm going to divide by 2 minus root 2. And then I'll divide this side by 2 minus root 2 to leave me with sine x, which will be equal to, and then let's just see what we get, cos x times, so if we put that into our calculator, we get root 2 minus 2 root 3 over 2 minus root 2. And that'll give us times negative 3,499 rounded off to 4. Okay, remember it's times. Okay, so on the next slide, I'm just going to write it again. So that gave us sine x equals negative 3,499 cos x. You'll notice I've written it neater because I've put the number in front. Always looks neater to work with. Okay, so let's try and get this to a single trigonomic function. And when we've got sines and coses, we can generate tan. Because remember, tan x is equal to sine x over cos x. So I'm going to divide this side by cos x, and then I'll divide that side by cos x. And that'll leave me with tan x, which is equal to negative 3,4994. Right, now I'm ready to get my reference angle. So to get my reference angle, our second function, the tan x, so remember that would be tan to the negative 1 of, and we're going to put this in without the negative, so that'll be 3,4994, and that'll give us our reference angle. So shift tan 3.4994, and that gives us 74,05 degrees. Right, now we have our reference angle. Next, we need to figure out in which quadrant this lies. So if we have a look at this, we see that our ratio is negative. Where is tan negative in terms of our quadrants? Well, tan will be negative in the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. So we'll start by working out in quadrant 2, and in quadrant 2 we'll have 180 degrees minus our reference angle of 74,05 degrees plus K180. Remember K180 because we're dealing with tan, and that will simplify down to 180 minus 74.05. That gives us 105,95 degrees plus K180, where K is an element of the integers. So that's in the second quadrant. Remember, tan is also negative in the fourth quadrant, so that will be in Q4. So that we'll change that to x equals 360 degrees minus our reference angle of 74,05 plus K180 again, and that'll be equal to 360 minus 74.05, and that's 285,95 degrees plus K180, where K is an element of the integers. And now you have solved for x. So, well done. Now you can go forward with more questions like this. It was a very long question. But before I go, I would like to give a quick shout out to Sajida. Thanks for sending in this really great question. I'm sure many learners will benefit from watching this video. And remember to visit our website for more of these epic video tutorials. And if you can't find the answer to your question, remember you can send it to us and we'll respond with a personalized video just for you. Until the next time, stay epic.